So despite this talk of a possible brief humanitarian pause in the fighting overnight U.S. time, John Kerry has largely come up empty-handed tonight in the Middle East. And meanwhile, there's growing concern about the escalating conflict in Ukraine. Andrea Mitchell covers the State Department. She's in our D.C. newsroom tonight. Andrea, let's start with the Middle East. Hamas robust enough to fire off enough rockets to abort a landing at Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv, yet this human death toll, the civilian death toll, goes on.
It goes on. The hope is that the 12-hour pause could be the basis for a 7-day ceasefire. But so far, neither side has what they want. Kerry's going to keep trying. He's going to Paris for more meetings tomorrow. But this terrible stalemate shows how little leverage the U.S. has right now with Israel. And it can only deal with Hamas through its allies, like Qatar, something Kerry did for hours on the phone today. The UN Secretary General said today there is no military solution and that the two sides have to talk. That's not happening. And while the world has been distracted by this, Brian, 1,700 more people died in Syria this week.
And the U.S. is distracted by a lot. Another front, Vladimir Putin, far from contrite. He has kind of used the attention being elsewhere in the Middle East to do something else militarily.
Indeed, Ukraine, Brian, is now a hot war again. The U.S. says that Russia has been using heavy artillery against Ukraine's military from Russian territory to offset recent military gains by the Kiev government against separatists. The U.S. has now shared satellite intelligence today with NATO showing the massing of heavy weapons at a Russian base near the border. The U.S. warns that those weapons are about to be moved into eastern Ukraine to resupply the rebels. And rather than backing off after the Malaysian airliner was shot down, as you say, Vladimir Putin is doubling down, Brian.
All right, Andrea Mitchell on a Friday night in our D.C. bureau. Andrea, thanks.